The massive ship Vanguard shook violently as it barreled through the strange energy storm encircling the planet. Calvorus 6. Commander Darius Hunt steadied himself against the reinforced viewport, his eyes narrowing as wild lightning cracked through the churning atmosphere. Blood dripped from a cut above his brow, a fresh injury from the rough emergency descent that had brought him here. Stabilizers offline. Lieutenant Zara Lorne's voice came through, taut with panic. We're losing control, Commander. Brace for impact. Darius tightened the straps on his tactical harness, the emergency energy shields embedded in his forearm implants flaring to life, sending a pulse of power through his body. Not the way he imagined his first visit to a classified world. But Darius had never been a stickler for procedure. With a deafening roar, the Vanguard tore through the dense alien forest canopy, the sound of metal screaming and branches splintering filling the air. When the ship finally slid to a halt, skidding through the thick soil, Darius was already moving. "Stabilize the ship," he barked, checking the pulse rifle at his side. "I'll proceed with the mission." Zara's eyes widened in disbelief. "You're not seriously?" "I am. We need information about the Talrith tribe. This world is too critical for us to back down now." "Commander," Zara cut in, her voice a mix of concern and frustration. "I was told this was a routine reconnaissance. The fleet needs intel from this planet, not a reckless mission." "I'm not turning back," Darius interrupted, his finger flipping the switch for his emergency beacon. "The Talrith hold resources we can't afford to lose to the Syndicate." Zara hesitated, then reluctantly nodded. "Just don't make the same mistakes as on Galaner 3, sir. Not every species appreciates our methods." Darius grinned wryly as the hatch opened, releasing a torrent of humid air. That was a miscommunication. Their concept of diplomacy was less formal than ours. Stepping onto the vibrant alien soil, Darius looked over his shoulder, ensuring Zara was in the process of stabilizing the ship. According to the maps, the Talrith settlement lay a few kilometers to the southeast. His navigation implant flashed as he started his trek into the unknown jungle, aware of every strange noise surrounding him. The jungle was alive with creatures he could not begin to categorize. Trees that seemed to breathe, flowers that reacted to his movements, and rustling in the dense foliage that kept his fingers on his weapon. As he made his way deeper into the wilderness, a sudden piercing shriek cut through the air, followed by the sound of something massive charging through the undergrowth. Darius immediately dropped into a defensive stance, scanning the surroundings. What broke through the dense leaves was no ordinary creature. A Talrith warrior, his glowing blue skin shimmering with sweat, clearly distressed. Something huge was chasing him. Before Darius could process it fully, the beast hunting the Talrith crashed into the clearing, a towering creature 3 times the size of a terrestrial lion, with 6 glowing amber eyes and a body wrapped in crimson fur. Without hesitation, Darius tackled the warrior to the ground just as the beast's massive claws swiped through the space where the Talrith had been standing. They rolled into a nearby depression, the air thick with the scent of the predator's rage. "Stay down," Darius hissed, though he knew the Talrith wouldn't understand him without a translator. Above them, the creature's 6 eyes scanned the clearing, its tri-forked tail swishing through the vegetation as it paced slowly, studying its prey. After what felt like an eternity, the predator turned and vanished back into the jungle. The Talrith, still alive but injured, stared up at Darius with wide eyes, his breath shallow. A streak of violet blood stained his side. "Not exactly how I planned to make first contact," Darius muttered, pulling a sealant patch from his pack to patch the wound. The Talrith winced, but the gratitude in his eyes needed no translation. The warrior spoke something guttural, pointing to his chest. "Zarin." Darius tapped his chest, replying simply, "Darius Hunt." Zarin's skin pattern shifted to a steady rhythm as he gestured southeast, indicating the settlement, and made a series of rapid hand motions. Darius nodded, offering a reassuring grin. "I think we understand each other. Lead the way." After some time, the settlement appeared through the dense jungle like a glowing mirage. The structures were unlike anything Darius had seen, bioluminescent and shaped like organic, flowing curves, almost as if they were grown rather than built. As Darius and the wounded Zarn approached, Armed guards quickly appeared, brandishing energy spears that pulsed with the same glowing energy as the Talrith's markings. Zarin spoke rapidly, gesturing toward Darius and his sealed wound, and after a tense pause, the weapons were lowered, though the tension remained. From the crowd, a tall, commanding figure emerged, Elder Kalen. "I am Elder Kalen," he said, his voice deep and resonant, as Darius's translator implant processed the words perfectly. "You saved Zarin. This debt will not be forgotten." Darius inclined his head in respect. "Commander Darius Hunt, Galactic Coalition. The honor is mine, Elder." Kalen studied him for a moment, his piercing gaze unrelenting. "Your arrival is unexpected. The stars were told visitors, but none were meant to stand between hunter and prey." Before Darius could respond, the crowd parted again and a woman stepped forward. Her violet hair flowed like liquid night, her intricate skin patterns pulsing with complex rhythms. This was Vera, Kalen's daughter, her violet eyes fixed on Darius. "You bring technology unlike any we've seen before," she said, her tone laced with suspicion. "Your presence disrupts the sacred harmony." Darius could feel her gaze on him, almost as if she could see deeper than the physical. There was no warmth, no gratitude, just a raw intensity. "I come with peaceful intentions," Darius replied, though he noted the change in her patterns, skepticism, maybe even fear. "You say that?" Vera's voice was sharp. "But others before you claimed peace, only to take without asking, to leave destruction behind. We are not so naive." Darius met her challenging gaze. "I am not one of them." Vera's expression softened just slightly as a silent recognition passed between them. Her patterns shifted again, this time to something less hostile. "We will see," she finally said, turning toward the settlement. "You will stay as our guest, and Vera will guide you, test your intentions." That night, from the window of his quarters, Darius heard a distant, resonant growl. The sound lingered in the air, something ancient and powerful. It had recognized him, and whatever connection it sought, Darius was determined to understand it. At dawn, the serenity of the settlement was shattered by an urgent communication from his ship. "Major Hunt, urgent situation. Syndicate presence detected nearby. Meridian extraction signatures. Coordinates marked." Lieutenant Zara's distorted voice crackled over the comms. Darius clenched his fists, knowing that Meridian's corporate extraction teams would be on this planet soon. If they were after the Talrith's sacred resources, things were about to get far more complicated. Ignoring the protocol to inform Kalen, Darius moved quietly through the jungle perimeter, his adaptive camouflage blending into the undergrowth. There, he spotted a dark, sleek drone, Meridians no doubt, hovering over a clearing. They were already scouting, gathering data on something crucial. Suddenly, the bushes behind him rustled, and Darius spun, weapon raised, only to find Vera standing there. Her expression was annoyed but not surprised. "You should be more careful," she said. "I know what you're doing." "I have no time for this," Darius muttered, his focus on the drone. The growl returned. Darius and Vera turned to see the Crimson Spectre emerging from the jungle. Its amber eyes locked on them as it moved with slow, calculated precision. "Get back," Vera warned, reaching for a weapon, but Darius stopped her. "It's not going to harm us," he whispered, feeling the creature's focus. It was curious, not hostile. As the predator approached, Darius extended his hand, letting the Spectre's energy flow through him. The connection was immediate and overwhelming. Ancient memories surged, visions of the land before the Talrith, before the hunter became the hunted. "How did you tame it?" Vera gasped, her voice filled with awe. "I didn't," Darius replied quietly. "I think it's just try and tell me something." As the group prepared to leave, Vera's voice broke the silence, her expression urgent. "We must return to the settlement immediately." But as Darius moved to follow her, he felt a strange shift in the air, a hum that resonated beneath his feet. Not a physical vibration, but something far deeper, energetic. His instincts flared. The Spectre tensed beside them, its growl reverberating through the air, its glowing amber eyes fixed on the cave's entrance. "Something's not right," Darius muttered, drawing his pulse rifle as they sprinted back to the waterfall. When they emerged into the clearing, They found themselves face to face with a team of Meridian security forces, all clad in heavy tactical gear. Alliance officer and native identified. One of the soldiers barked into his comms, proceeding with containment. "Run," Darius shouted, firing a quick burst of energy that forced the troops to scatter. The Spectre sprang into action with terrifying speed, its crimson form blurring as it tore into the security team, its claws slicing through armor like paper. Darius grabbed Vera's hand and pulled her through the dense jungle, pulse fire cutting through the foliage behind them. The roars of the Spectre echoed as Meridian soldiers screamed in terror. "They'll send more," Darius panted as they ran. "That was just a scouting party. How'd they find us so fast?" Vera gasped, her voice strained with exertion. "They must have tracked us, my implants, or maybe your energy signature. They burst through the edge of the jungle, only to be greeted by chaos." A Meridian dropship hovered above the central plaza. Troops pouring out as a woman in a silver suit addressed the Cerulean assembly through a loudspeaker. "Generous compensation for mining rights," she said, her voice cold and calculated. "Meridian Extraction Corporation offers technology, medicine, and protection in exchange for access to your planet's resources." Darius's jaw clenched. This was no diplomatic offer. Director Vanden. He called out, stepping forward with authority. "Your corporation has no claim here. Stellaris 6 is under provisional protection by the Galactic Coalition." Vanden, her immaculate silver suit untouched by the jungle humidity, turned, her gaze narrowing as she registered Darius's presence. "Major Mercer," she said, her voice dripping with mock politeness. "How convenient. Now we can have a civilized conversation, just like representatives of advanced civilizations." Her smile didn't reach her eyes, and Darius knew this wouldn't be a peaceful discussion. "These are not primitive superstitions," Vera interjected, stepping beside him. "The Harmony Stone binds all life here on Stellaris 6. Your mining would destroy the entire ecosystem and sever our sacred connection." "Charming beliefs," Vanden replied dismissively. "But surely your people want to join the galactic community. Medical technology alone would extend your lives for centuries. At what cost?" Darius shot back. "The Harmony Stone isn't just a mineral. It's biologically integrated with the ceruleans and the native wildlife, especially with the Crimson Spectres." Vanden's smile faltered as her eyes narrowed. "You encountered them then? Fascinating. Our initial survey suggested they might be engineered guardians, part of a defense system rather than natural evolution. All the more reason to study this mineral thoroughly." Before Darius could respond, the jungle rustled. The first Crimson Spectre appeared from the foliage, its massive form streaked with blood. Not its own, and behind it, 5 more emerged, forming a protective line between the settlement and the intruders. Gasps and cries of alarm rang out from the Ceruleans. Meridian security forces raised their weapons. "Hold fire," Darius commanded with such authority that both sides hesitated. The lead Spectre, the one Darius had connected with, moved forward, standing beside him and Vera, its presence towering and imposing, a living barrier against the Meridian forces. "What is this?" Vanden demanded, her voice cracking as her confidence wavered. Acting on instinct, Darius reached out, placing a hand on the Spectre's head, then reached for Vera with his other hand. The moment their contact was complete, a surge of energy flooded through him, a connection beyond anything he had ever felt. The Spectre's consciousness filled his mind. Generations of guardians, their ancient duty to protect the sacred caves, the pain of first contact when off-worlders had desecrated the Harmony Stone veins, a desperate protection of the cubs, the future of their kind. And through this bond, Darius felt Vera's essence, the deep cultural history of her people, intertwined with the Spectre's ancient rituals and their shared connection to the glowing stone. Surprisingly, he also felt their shared glimpses, his own history, Earth's legacy of environmental destruction, and the Alliance's core principles to protect worlds like this one, his commitment to the preservation of life, no matter the cost. When the connection broke, the entire settlement fell into stunned silence. Even Vanden and her troops stood transfixed, unable to tear their eyes away from the surreal spectacle of the human, The cerulean and the specter united in their bond. What just happened? Vanden demanded, visibly unsettled. Vera's voice rang out, full of newfound authority. The sacred bond has been renewed. This human has been chosen by the Crimson Guardians as a bridge between our worlds. She turned to the gathered ceruleans. The harmony stone these off-worlders seek is our lifeblood. It is the source of our connection to this world and each other. Mining it would destroy what makes us cerulean. The specter growled in agreement. It's for bristling as it stared down Vanden and her soldiers. This is absurd. Vanden scoffed, her composure cracking. Primitive mysticism shouldn't impede progress. This isn't mysticism, Darius said firmly, the connection still humming through his veins. It's advanced symbiotic biology. The ceruleans and the specters share a quantum-encoded relationship with a harmony stone. Your mining would disrupt patterns established over millions of years. Elder Kalen stepped forward, his voice unshaken by the extraordinary events. Director Vanden, we must decline your offer. The harmony stone is not for negotiation. Vanden's pleasant smile slipped entirely. You primitives have no idea what you're sitting on. The Alliance may play diplomatic games, but Meridian knows how to acquire what it needs. Is that a threat? Darius asked quietly, his hand resting on the specter's head, the energies between them sinking visibly. It's business, Vanden replied coldly. We'll be in touch. With that, she signaled her troops to retreat, climbing aboard her dropship. Zarin, now healed for his injuries, approached Darius. They will return with greater force, he said grimly. We'll be ready, Darius replied, still feeling the connection with the specter and Vera reverberating through his enhanced system. Vera turned to him, her violet eyes filled with a mixture of wonder and something deeper. The bond we share, she said softly, her fingers intertwining with his, her other hand resting on the specter's flank. It's unlike anything in our recorded history. My ancestors spoke of a threefold harmony, but they thought it was mythological. It's not myth, Elder Kalen said, his voice filled with newfound respect. Sacred history, forgotten until needed most. He turned his penetrating gaze on Darius. The stars have sent us a guardian when our world faced its greatest threat. That night, as the settlement braced for potential conflict, Darius received an urgent transmission from Lieutenant Zara. Major, Meridian flagship in orbit, full extraction team, ETA 12 hours. The transmission cut off in a burst of static. Vera was waiting for him at the entrance to his quarters, her luminescent patterns dimmed in the darkness. You heard? Darius asked. She nodded. Our Harmony network detects their preparations. They'll bring machines designed to extract the stone quickly, no matter the damage to the ecosystem. We need to protect the Harmony stone, Darius said, his mind already working on a plan. Vera's eyes brightened with a sudden realization. Perhaps there's a way through the connection that binds us. She led him back to the sacred cave behind the waterfall, where the walls glowed with veins of Harmony stone. The specter followed them, along with an ancient, massive creature, an elder guardian of the specters. It's for pulsing with extraordinary power. This is the first guardian, Vera explained reverently. It hasn't been seen by the ceruleans in generations. The creature studied Darius with ancient wisdom, then lowered its head in a gesture of recognition and respect. The Harmony Stone has offensive capabilities, Vera explained, leading Darius deeper into the cave system. Our ancestors used it to repel the first off-worlders who tried to mine it, but activating its defense requires the threefold harmony, cerulean, guardian, and the missing piece. Darius realized what was missing. Your people lost it until now, Vera confirmed. Your implants, they must contain trace elements of Harmony Stone, or something similar enough to complete the circuit. Deep within the cave, they found a chamber unlike any other, a dome of solid Harmony Stone, pulsing with untapped energy. In the center stood a crystalline altar. This is it, Vera whispered. The Harmony Core. Darius understood. It can create a defensive field, rendering the Harmony Stone undetectable. It makes it worthless to Meridian. The first guardian approached the altar, placing its paw on the crystal. The stone began to glow with immense power. We must complete the circuit, Vera said, taking Darius's hand and leading him to the altar, all three energies united in purpose. As their hands touched the crystal, the connection expanded exponentially. Darius's consciousness stretched beyond his physical form, merging with Vera and the Guardians in a collective awareness that spanned all of Stellaris 6. He could sense the Meridian ships in orbit, their drop ships preparing to deploy. But more importantly, he could feel the Harmony Stone's energy shifting, tuning to a frequency that made it undetectable to Meridian sensors. When they finally broke contact, Darius staggered slightly, overwhelmed. Vera steadied him, her touch lingering. "It's done," she said softly. "The Harmony Stone is safe, for now. But Meridian won't give up," Darius replied. "They'll still land. They'll still search. Then we'll give them a more immediate concern," Darius said, the plan already forming in his mind.